Simon, narrow defeat this evening. I think it was a fair reflection on the balance of the game.
Well, I thought it was always going to be a really tight game tonight, and in frosty conditions we knew it might be a bit of a war of attrition, and they are good at that. You know, the big strong team play the percentages really well, and they're hard nut to break, especially to crack, especially when they go ahead. And I think it was who would mess up. You know, it would cost their team in terms of if there was an error, it would be the game would be won by the other team. You know, and for us, we had a bad 5-minute spell where we didn't clear our lines. The line was too deep, and we didn't dominate defensively, and we invited them in, and it's disappointing. It's frustrating because it was an awful second half, but you know, awful game to view. I'd imagine we didn't play to our strengths, but albeit, you know, they did well at what they do.
Obviously, just close to half time is an awful time to concede, really, wasn't it? Sometimes you can get in at the break, having a great performance, but 0-0 you can perhaps change things up and you know, go on from there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were upsetting them, especially down our right, where we've got bags of pace, and you know, put them on the back foot in that respect. But really, there was nothing between the two sides for the majority of the game. So it was important then that we value the point, you know, and make sure that we just grind it out. So because it's not easy conditions tonight, you know, to be fluent, but we've got to show the necessary grit and resolve and physicality to make sure that we don't buckle under the strain of that. And we did for 5 minutes, and it's dearly cost us.
Played with sort of quite a direct style, Cheltenham, getting the ball forward quickly. You know, the long throws were a bit of a threat for us. Do you think we sort of struggle to impose sort of how we want to play on the game in reaction to that?
Yeah, I think it's you can still play a different game plan, but I think in League Two, you know, we've learned only too well that you have to have a certain amount of physicality to make sure that you dominate the first ball. You know, and Aaron Martin's done very well in terms of acquitting himself up front, you know, and winning that first ball. And it sounds basic, but there's still that room in the team where you need to nail it. You need to nail that first ball, and even the throws going in, we didn't do enough. We didn't do enough to clear our lines, to get the yardage, to get the territory. We didn't do enough of the ugly side of the game to win the game.
I think there's a little bit of he talks about League Two, sometimes you get punished. A little bit of a sort of reminder, or a little bit of a lesson of the level of play?
Yeah, I think this is the season where we have to keep learning and not be too, that can't be above us, you know, having that mindset where, okay, we dropped off 15 yards again against not big strikers. They were able to get it into their feet then, and then get their wing backs forward, and then load the box, and it was always going to be awkward opposition if you do yield that space a bit, and you know, and retreat, and we need to be braver at that. You know, we need to be more aggressive, and fair play to, you know, the three centre halves. They're very big and strong, and they don't take a backward, they don't retreat at all.
I think overall, though, it's been a positive run of late, both in terms of results and, you know, the performances, style of play. Obviously disappointing and frustrating evening tonight. Is it important not to get sort of react too much to
oh no, you don't overly bruise. You're never going to be ecstatic for losing a game, even if it's against good opposition like Cheltenham. And they're a very good League Two team in the playoffs, and they went up last year, and you know, they're good all round, solid all over, aren't they? And they've got some good attacking players, so they've got a good mix to do well. We've narrowly lost a game. There was a war of attrition that we've just got to make sure that we learn and continue to work on the concentration, continue to work on not succumbing to frustration, and you know, halting our own progress in the game by giving too many needless free kicks away. And you know, we don't want to dwell on it too much. We won't be doing a proper review session of the video. Well, I will be, but not sitting down the lads, because I think just nail the basics a bit more and make sure that when we get an opportunity we use the ball and play to our strengths.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thanks, Simon.